Today we will be ranking the best centre-backs in the Premier League for EAFC 24. We did goalkeepers yesterday, now we are moving up the pitch and we are going to be doing centre-backs. Now I have taken the best centre-backs currently, obviously at the start of the game of EAFC 24. Now I've got 22 centre-backs that we're ranking today and you'll see them shortly. It's not every single centre-back because I assure you, you probably don't need my opinion to know if a 49 pace Axel Disasi is going to be good, right? So we took 22 of the highest rated and then some also lower rated ones that are pretty meta. We got the two hero Premier League centre-backs on the list as well, being Ledley King and Vincent Kompany. Now before we jump into it, and I did explain it in my goalkeeper tier list yesterday, which if you do want to see, there is a playlist, a public playlist on my channel, so go to my channel and in playlist section, and that is where all of the Premier League position playlists will be for EAFC, right? Goalkeepers, centre-backs, obviously full-backs, midfielders, when they come out. But I explained this in the goalkeeper video yesterday. But I'm basically going to show you guys what I'll be looking at for a top tier centre-back. So obviously for a top tier centre-back, you want to have respectable pace, obviously good defending and good physical, especially aggression, but I'll also be looking at the composure stat, I'll also be looking at the reaction stat, and I'll also be looking at play styles. If we take a look at the play styles for the defending play styles, you've got block, which is increased reach when performing blocks and improved ability to make a successful block. You've got bruiser, which is greater strength when performing physical tackles. I'm not going to read through all of these, but this is basically the process I'm going to be going through when I look at these cards. Reactions, composure, obviously the necessities being defending, physical pace, but also play styles for the defender. So that's going to be my thought process when I make this tier list. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump on over to the tier list. The top tier being elite, the bottom being a void, with very good, good and average in between. Let's get started. Now, Thiago Silva, I was actually tempted not to even include in this tier list because he has got like 50 something pace. And for me, I'm sorry boys, but that's just going to be in a void. Sure, he's got good play styles, good defending. Yeah. But 50 pace in foot champs against Mbappe's, against 90 plus pace players. Good luck with that one, okay? I'm sorry, but this is an avoid straight away. I thought I'd still put him in there just because he was quite high rated. Like, as an actual centre-back in real life, he may be great. But I promise you guys, in foot champs, you do not want to be using a 50 pace centre-back. It ruins the card. Next up is Raphael Varane, who has got the playstyle plus for anticipate, which I said before looks quite good. And he has also got a normal playstyle for aerial duels. Now, I was looking at Varane earlier on my Twitch stream. Speaking of it, if you guys do want to drop me a follow, we'll be going crazy for EAFC, both on the YouTube and the Twitch. But we were looking at him when we were like building some starting teams. And someone had him in his starting team. And I said, you know what? I think this card will be, at least 50, 60,000 to start the game. So I'm not sure if you can call that a starting centre-back. But I think Varane looks phenomenal. He's got a couple less pace this year with 79 than his previous FIFAs. But I think his strength is good enough by itself to hold strong if you do want to really make that pace, insane and jack up that pace and give him, like, I think with a shadow he'd get 87, I'm pretty sure. It's a +8 pace with a shadow now. So I think his strength is good enough to put a shadow on him and not an anchor, so you can have that pace. I think Varane, very close to elite. I'm going to put him high end very good. We might change this towards the end, but I'm going to put him high end very good. And I think that's quite fair because Van Dijk is going straight into the elite tier. Now, I'm not going to show this for all centre-backs, but I will just show it for Van Dijk. He has got a pace split, which is very awkward. His physical and aggression more than good enough to hold up with a shadow. So you get a shadow on him. 74 acceleration ain't awful. 95 sprint speed is rapid. Obviously, he's got the height, great composure, great reactions. But the reason that I think he's elite, take a look at these play styles. Playstyle plus for aerial. He's got the playstyle for bruiser, anticipate, block, jockey, long ball pass, and power header. So those play styles for me just make this card the benchmark. Phenomenal. John Stones up next has only got the long throw for a playstyle, which really doesn't matter, but he still looks pretty solid. He's got okay pace, respectable defending and physical, and actually pretty nice dribbling for a centre-back. I'm going to put him into the good tier. Next up is Nathan Ake. Now, he's actually not as fast this year. He's got 0 playstyles, I believe 75 pace, 0 playstyles. He's a lot smaller, and his dribbling is better than the bigger centre-backs, obviously, but I don't think he's going to be a great centre-back. I think I would rank him below John Stones in the average. Maybe you could debate in the good as well, but I'm going to keep him in the average, having 0 play styles. Now, I'm not too sure what they did to my boy Thiago Carlos. He was the go-to starting Premier League centre-back the last couple of years, and now he's got 67 pace, he's got 75 composure, he's got a couple play styles, but nothing to write home about. Sounds bang average to me. Joe Gomez, on the other hand, Joe Gomez seems to be a player that no matter how bad of a season, if he's a 75 rated gold common, he'd still have 80 plus pace, he'd still be usable. I'm going to put him into good right next to John Stones. Moving on, we have got Akanji. Not as good as he was in previous FIFAs. Once again, it looks like they're lowering the pace of some of these players. I think he has a couple less pace than he did last year. Composure's nothing crazy. Akanji, though, he does have the slide tackle play style, which is very nice. I'm going to put him along with Joe Gomez. I think both him and Joe Gomez, and obviously John Stones, they look like good centre-backs. Nothing crazy, but good starting centre-backs that shouldn't be no more than 10,000 coins each. This Romero card has got 81 strength and 89 aggression, so I do think you'd be able to go for the shadow and not have to worry too much about the anchor physical boost you're missing out on. He has only got 70 pace, so you want that shadow boost on him to put him up to 78. He's got, as I said, 89 aggression is amazing. I think 82 composure, and he's got 4 play styles as well. I'm going to go ahead, also put him into good. If he had some more pace, he'd be in very good for sure. But you need a shadow on him. I think his strength, as I said, is good enough to hold up without the anchor boost. I think he's a good, solid centre-back, which leads me on to Gabriel. As an Arsenal fan, I love the guy, but I mean, he's very similar to Romero, actually. He's got good enough strength to hold up by himself with the shadow, good defending, got some lovely play style traits about him as well, but he's not the fastest. In fact, I think he's also 70 pace. Him and Romero, both very similar. I'm going to put them both in the good tier. Next up, we have got Konate. His strength is very good. You need a shadow on him. He's only got 67 acceleration, so you definitely want to go ahead and get a shadow on him. I think he looks solid. I'm going to put him in good, and I'm actually going to put him above both Romero and Gabriel, which does leave me on to Lisandro Martinez, who in my opinion is the complete opposite to Konate. Obviously, he's what, 7 inches shorter? The thing is with Lisandro, his defensive stats are solid. He's got 87 composure, which is very nice. He's got some play styles about him as well, but he's also got that dribbling, which makes him a good ball playing centre back, kind of similar to David Alaba, it feels like. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and I'll also put him into good. I think him and Konate are very different type of centre-backs. In fact, Lisandro is a different type of centre-back to a lot of these centre-backs on the tier list. I think having Konate and Lisandro as a centre-back partnership, for example, would be good. You've got the smaller, more agile ball-playing centre-back in Lisandro Martinez. Then you've got the taller, stronger centre-back that can win it and be the more defensive type of guy, if you will. So I think Lisandro's pretty good. Once again, hard to compare with the rest of him because his playstyle would be completely different. Next up, we've got Ruben Diaz. Amazing playstyles about him. He has, though, one big issue, and obviously that's his pace. Once again, you need a shadow on him. Strength is more than good enough to hold up by itself. I'm going to go ahead. I'll put him into the high tier good. If he did have better pace, he'll definitely be in the very good alongside Raphael Varane. In fact, after having a double look, I know he had like low 60s pace, but he does have a pace split. He's only got 54 acceleration, so I'll even bump him down just around this area here. Pau Torres, he's got, I think, 71 pace, which is nothing crazy. His defensive physical stats not bad. He's got a couple play styles, probably not the most ideal play styles you want for a centre back. I'm not a huge fan of Pau Torres, just by the looks of him. I'm going to put him into the high end of average. Now, next up, we have got William Saliba. Once again, as an Arsenal fan, I love this guy. And I can tell you guys right now, I've already looked at him on stream. He's going into the very good along with Raphael Varane. I mean, he's 6'4". He's got respectable defending, great physicals, 82 pace. He's got a few play styles on him. Chuck a shadow on him, and you've got a top tier centre back, all right? Next up, we have got Gvardiol. Is that how you pronounce it? Now, I think he's similar to Pau Torres. I'm going to also put him into the average tier. Now, this Gvardiol, boys, he looks very good, which as I say that, I'm putting him into the very good. But the reason I put him in very good is simply just for that block playstyle plus, because if we go ahead, once again, take a look at all of them, The defending ones, playstyle plus for block, even greater reach when performing blocks, and improved ability to make a successful block. Next up we have got Julian Timber, who, like Lisandro Martinez, a little bit on the short side. I think Timber looks really nice, ball playing centre back, 85 composure on him as well. I'm going to put him right next to Lisandro Martinez. Now Sven Botman is coming in with 90 strength, which is absolutely phenomenal. Some nice play styles. You're probably getting sick of me saying that, but he does have some nice play styles. But the issue is, similar to Diaz, he ticks every single box except the pace. In fact, he's got 53 acceleration and 75 sprint speed. So he's got a pace split, 53 acceleration, get a shadow on him. You've got, see, Diaz's pace isn't quite that bad. 53 acceleration is crazy. I'll put him with Diaz, but nah, I'm bumping him down a bit. Now next up is Van der Ven, which honestly there's going to be some controversy about this one. If we jump on over to the footbin view here, sure, he's got 85 pace, which looks great. Pace split, that's okay. Respectable strength as well, 6'4". He's got the block and slide tackle play style. Everything looks good, but then you've got 68 composure, which is very important. Reactions aren't crazy as well. I think lots of people see high pace and they go, wow, get me this card right now. But then they see composure, or they decide to ignore composure. Reactions aren't crazy. You could, deal with them. 72 is not awful. But 68 composure. For me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put him into, I'll put him low tier good. I'll put him above Botman, but I think lots of people would probably be expecting me to put him in the high tier good or very good. For me, I think the composure lets him down quite a bit. Next up, boys, is Ledley King. Now, the one issue with him on Footbin, Easy SBC, it does not display his playstyles as of yet. The same with Kompany. It just must be a Heroes thing. They don't show the playstyles as of yet. But assuming he's got the pretty standard, in fact, probably above average defender playstyles because he's a hero. He's a little bit on the shorter side, but other than that, he's a great centre back, and I'm going to go ahead and put him into very good, leaving us with the man himself, Vincent Kompany. Do I have to say more, ladies and gentlemen? Him and Van Dijk, you can debate who's better out of the both, but I think there's no debating that they're the two elite centre-backs within this tier list. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I think RK's missing a few things that makes him as good as he was in previous years, but I still think I'm happy with this. Yeah, the very good tier, Saliba, Varane, I think Gvardiol. If we're putting it in order, I probably would say, it's hard to tell without seeing the playstyles of Ledley King. I think this is pretty fair. Let me know if you guys agree. Let me know if you'll change anything. And let me know, maybe there's another Premier League centre-back that I did forget to mention. But it's been your boy Davis. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. And I'll see you lads in the next one. Peace out.